it said, "Ladies and gentlemen, now the Four Tops." And Boy George walked on. And he says, and I'm the fifth top. And I'm like, Mick. And he's like, just looking at me like that.
So have you met Freddie as well?
I've sang with Freddie.
No way.
That weren't me.
The first song?
No, you're getting mixed up with someone else.
Virgin Radio 80s Plus.
Now, first of all, hello. Do I address you as Sam Fox or Samantha Fox? What do you prefer?
Well, if you're my friend and you seem really friendly, you can call me Sam.
Sam it is.
My mum and dad call me Sammy, and everywhere in the world except England call me Samantha. So I've got these three names. My mum does call me Samantha when she's got the amp.
Yes.
And so did my teachers. But you can call me Sam.
Did that happen quite a lot?
Now and again,
Were
yeah.
you, so first of all, welcome to Virgin Radio.
Thank
Virgin
you.
Radio 80s Plus. I've always wanted to meet you.
Oh, thanks,
I
Steve.
felt like I've grown up with you.
You probably have.
You've been a constant through my school years and adulthood. So first of all, were you a bad girl? Before the page three thing, before the modelling, what were you like as a kid, Sam?
Do you know what? I absolutely loved school because I had a really close-knit of great friends at school, and I was so into sports and, I was in the netball team and the hockey team, the gymnastics team, the swimming team. So I had a circle of friends that all was into the same sort of thing. So I did love school. What I used to get in trouble about at school was not concentrating enough.
Yeah.
Talks too much. And what was the other thing? Can't concentrate. Easily distracted.
Were you a gossip?
No, I wasn't a gossip, but I was easily distracted. Like if one of my mates was saying peeling an orange under the desk quietly, I would go, "Carl, what's that smell? It smells like oranges in here." And then I would be the one who they would think it was me with the orange.
You get sent out.
Yeah. No, I was just not too bad at school because I did like school. I never really bunked off school because I liked it.
Yeah.
Towards the end of my school, obviously, when I went in, first of all, I went in 1983. I went in the Sun. So I did get expelled from school for a little while.
Wow.
But at that time, I was staying on at the sixth form doing my A-levels. That was right.
Okay.
And
well, let me start by asking you. So first of all, the homework you've done for this is brilliant. The tracks are amazing. This week is just going to fly by.
Brilliant.
Because all these tracks, they're all brilliant. You know, some people come up with a few fillers, but they're all really big.
Yeah.
We're starting on the list with Eurythmics' Sweet Dreams. Now, having done some research on you, 1983... It's massive, a game changer for you, wasn't it? Can you? So you were. Tell me the story. You were at school, and your mum sent some photos.
No. Everyone says that. No, what happened was I was at school, and there was a competition in the Sunday People, and it said, "Girls, you could be the face and shape of '83." There was no mention of Topless or Patriot at that time. And it said, "Mums, dads, boyfriends, if you think your daughter or girlfriend has got the face and shape of '83, we're looking for her now." So my mum just took a picture of me in a Victorian basque outfit, all in white with little white gloves, and it was in my bedroom, and Nan held a bedside lamp to my face. My sister was there, and my mum took it on a Kodak Brownie. And she sent it in. We never heard anything for weeks. And then suddenly I got a phone call and they said I was in the final 20.
Wow.
I was like, what?
That's out of like 20,000 people,
maybe
wasn't it?
20,000, probably more. In those days, papers sold millions.
Yeah.
As you know. I mean, the Sun was read by 29, 30 million people back in that day. And then Sunday papers, everybody just read the Sunday papers. So, I got a call. I was studying that day. And I got a call. No, I was at home. Yes, right. I was at home studying for my exams, as you do in the sixth form. And the Sun then saw me on this competition, which I came second in. And then the Nielsen murders were on. I'm sorry to make it go down.
The Dennis Nielsen murders.
The Dennis Nielsen murders.
Yes, of course.
And then there was a lot of pap there, and I lived very close. And one particular photographer, he saw me in the People and put a circle around my face because he knew I lived down the road.
Wow.
And he read what school I went to. So while he was covering the Dennis murders with all these bits of bodies coming out, in between, he's gone to my school with a female journalist called Sian Lancaster. I always remember her name. You can't really go in a school playground when a photographer, hello, I want to take 7 photos on page 3. It would have been awful.
It's not a good look, is it?
It's not a good look. It's not a good beginning. So my friend said that her best friend works down the road. Her name's Anne Mole in a motor spares shop. So the son went down there. Then she rang me and said, Sam, the Sun are here. They want you to do page 3. I went, oh, be quiet, Anne. Don't be so silly. She went, no, they want to talk to you. So I went, Mum, the Sun want to talk to you. And it started from there. Wow. They came over to the house, had a meeting with Mummy and Daddy. I was probably a month away from being 17. I was very mature for my age. I'd spent most of my life in acting schools and working with older people than myself. I'd already been in 2 bands before, and done gigs. So I wasn't a kid as such, very mature. And they offered me a 4-year contract there and then, which was fantastic because I knew the next 4 years of my life I wanted to be the best at it and do the best I could. And hopefully during that time I remember saying to myself, let's give page 3 girls a brain. And that's when I started to present the 6 o'clock show with Michael Aspel.
On
Danny,
LWT.
That's
we
right.
spoke about that, didn't
and
we?
Danny Baker.
Yeah.
So after that kind of publicity, I became a big celebrity. Like I was getting booked to open lots of places and lots of teenage boys. I remember opening Carpet Right once and wondering why there was a 10,000 14, 15-year-old boys there. Yes. I thought, they're not interested in carpets. And it was just great times. And most of my time was filled up, obviously, once a week doing page 3, but the rest of the week was TV shows, openings. I had my own restaurant, wine bar, clothes. I mean, it was all going on. Right.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask you more about this in a moment because we're going to do a double track today. But first of all, tell me why Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams, as we go into your first track this week.
Well, Eurythmics, when your first Eurythmics come out, I thought, how fantastic is Annie Lennox as a singer?
Yeah.
As a performer, slightly androgynous, which we hadn't really seen. And then just this sound they had was just so different.
Didn't you do this song on Wogan? Is that right? Or...
No, what happened on Wogan? I went on Wogan in 1986. No, well, many times actually. No, this would have been probably 83, 84 on Wogan.
Yeah.
Talking about my popularity as a page 3 girl. Nothing about music because I hadn't gone into music yet. But on that interview, he said to me, "Oh, I heard you can sing." I said, "Yeah, I've been singing since about 5. I've been to Anisha Theatre School, then I went to Judi Dench." She went, "Really? Not a lot of people know that, so you can really sing." And then he asked me who my favourite singer was, and I said Annie Lennox, and I love Sweet Dreams. And it came from there, and then I got a tape. I got loads of tapes sent to my house the next day, and all it said was Samantha Fox, page 3 girl, North London. Tapes and tapes. Some of them were really bad, some of them was all right. But then Jive Records rang my dad and they said, "We saw Sam on Wogan last night. We have got the perfect song for her. We're looking for a British Madonna and we feel she can sing like she says she can and she looks like she does and she's got the personality and the gumption to go forward in life. We really want her to come down and try this song out."
We're about to play Touch Me.
Yeah.
This was...
That weren't me.
The first song?
No, you're getting mixed up with someone else.
Did you see the moment of panic?
You did. Steve, your face.
I thought, oh no, I've blown it. Here we go.
Steve, your face, it was hilarious. I loved it.
You got me.
I'll never forget it. No, darling, of course, yes. Go on,
of course
touch
it was
me.
you. I bought it. Tell me, I was a school kid, so I missed.
You're the one.
I missed the crossover. I was there at Carpetland. I kind of missed how the song, the singing career started from the modelling. So what happened? Did you send a tape because somebody was looking for a British Madonna, Jive Records? Please tell me everything.
Oh yeah, okay. Jive Records had heard me on Wogan the night before and I was talking to Wogan about that I'd been singing since the age of 5 and I went to Anisha with a lot of the Spandau Ballet lot actually.
Yeah.
And then I went to Anisha. So I was talking to Wogan about I've always sung, I've always acted, blah, blah, blah. So obviously I was inundated with songs the next day, but Jive actually phoned up my dad and said, "We want to present a track for you." And they said, "We were looking for a British Madonna and we think Sam would really, not only the image, not only seeing her interviews, that she's a strong girl, she knows where she's going in life, And this song's, you know, we've had Like a Virgin, now we've got a song called Touch Me.
Yeah, because it's really sexualised, this song, isn't
Well,
it?
at the end of the day...
For the time, it was 86.
And I got a lot of stick for it, but I remember my dad saying, listen, when Bob Dylan said, lay lady lie, he didn't mean chickens, did he? I always remember quoting that. And there was Touch Me in the Morning by Diana Ross. There was plenty of Touch Me's somewhere. But because it's Sam Fox, yes, touch me, touch me. But then I used to say, well, how did we get here then? We got here by touching. Yeah. And I'm going to touch the world with this song. And I did.
Did you know it was a hit the moment that you heard it?
Oh, yeah, because as I told you, I've been sent so many songs and, I was quite disappointed with the sort of songs I was getting. Because in my mind, I wanted to be, it was quite, had lead, on guitar was, is it Patrick McManus from the Mama's Boys? It had a rocky edge, but it was also dance, which I was so into. I was into a lot of alternative music growing up. My dad was more rocky and my mum was more funk. So growing up, and I loved the mixture. So...
do you know, I saw a performance of you doing this song on Top of the Pops.
Yeah.
And it looks so, like you took to it.
Yeah,
I mean, you look like a pop star. You look like you'd always been a pop star.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There wasn't any awkwardness. You absolutely went for it. The crowd loved you. Yeah. You know, you were really, you're a great dancer as well. So you managed to do all of that.
See, I didn't want to go to do Touch Me, what people say, oh, you got to do a really sexy video. I didn't feel, just coming out of page 3, I should do that.
Yeah.
So I borrowed my dad's jean jacket. I put a pair of jeans on. My mum put a rip in the hole at the back where my bum is. What do I say, bum or butt? What's rude? My mum put a little hole where my butt is. Just a tiny one. You couldn't see my butt, but you knew the butt was there.
You knew it was there somewhere.
And then obviously I had the ripped jeans at the front. And I wanted a band behind me because I was always a fan of people like Debbie Harry, and when I was little, Susie Quattro, Stevie Nicks, you know, Fleetwood Mac, and I'd always liked rock chicks. So that's what I wanted. And I said I just want to wear jeans, jean jacket, have a band behind me, and that's what I wanted to portray. I thought, everybody's seen the rest of me. They don't. I just want people to listen.
And how were you taken when you started? When you announced you were going to be a pop star? When you had a song out, did people take you seriously? Was it an easy transition?
No, it wasn't an easy transition, Steve. Because what people really don't realise, before I was very famous, I was in a band called SFX, and I released a couple of singles. One was called Aim to Win, and one was called Holding. So I think I was 17 when I released Holding, under another name called SFX, which was my band's name.
Can we still get those songs if
they're
people
there,
Google?
They're there.
Amazing.
Yeah, they're
amazing.
there.
So it would have been like in '83.
Well, Teresa Bazaar wrote my first song from Dollar.
Wow.
She's a really good lyricist.
Yeah.
And then the second song was Ray Fennick from that rock band, which I was really pleased about, because it was a rockabilly type track. So there were two different kind. I love doing different music, and that's why my albums are so schizophrenic, because I like so many different styles.
They're all really different, aren't they? Because I bought the album that came out in 1989. Very, very different from the singles that I bought, in '86, which is great.
Well, I was working with American, because Touch Me went to #1 in so many countries, went to #4 in America. Above me was Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, and The Going Gets Tough, and I had a tough time with that bullet getting up there. But I'm telling you now, it would have been #1. But remember, Madonna was huge at the time, and so was Cyndi Lauper, and I was fans of both of them.
Yeah.
And Billy Ocean was on the same label as me, so we did have a laugh when he got to #1. He's going, I beat you. And it was from a film, wasn't it, at that time? So it was a huge song, The Going Gets Tough.
Yeah.
And I had huge, big stars in front of me at #4.
What was that like, actually, when you looked at the chart and you saw your name up against, you said Madonna and Cyndi Lauper, people that how did that make you feel?
Wow. I was like, oh my God, because first they rang and the record company and said I got a bullet. Because in America, you have to have this blue bullet by your name.
Right.
And that means you're going up the charts. If you don't get a bullet, it means you might stay and hang around for weeks and weeks and nothing's going to happen.
So you're like a hot one, something to watch.
So once Billboard put a bullet by you, it means you're going to be going up. And I always remember the A&R in America saying, you're going to be going up, get over it now, we've got to do promo, video. Oh no, we've done the video, we've got to get the next video done because we've got to be ready, because we hadn't even had the album done yet.
Yeah.
I recorded that album, Touch Me, in a month.
Wow.
I mean, the success of Touch Me was so quick. Number 1 in 17 countries, top 5 throughout the world. 1 minute I'm known in England, the next minute I'm known internationally.
Yeah. And the international people, the international fans knew you from music.
Yes.
Like, we had the added bonus of knowing you from your previous
There was
career.
no internet then. But I'm sure if there was, they would know within 5 minutes before I got to an American radio show. But no, I did talk about it. They used to say, we heard about page 3. What is it? And I say, it's the page after 2.
Love it.
Anyway, I said it was... a great British institution that's been going on, it must be 50 years now. I don't. Well, it's finished now. I said, there's always a pretty girl on page 3, and it must seem so funny to Americans to say this kind of thing. And then I got offered Sports Illustrated, and I said, I'm done with modelling.
Yeah.
I'm done. I had my 4-year contract. And I'm done. There's only so many pictures you can do, so many poses, and I'm one of those artists that I have to keep learning and learning. I like to keep learning. And with music, you can only get better and better in the way of writing, producing, the whole production of your show. You never stop learning in music. With modelling, it's... You get your few years and you get out of there.
Okay.
So 4 years was perfect for me. But yeah, it's just to let people know that. So when I went on Top of the Pops, it wasn't scary. It was like we'd already.
You looked so at home.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But I found, when I went there, I thought, isn't it small in here? As a
Everyone
kid,
says it's tiny.
oh my God, I remember as a kid, I used to watch it was it Fridays, wasn't it?
Thursday night, 7 p.m.
That's right, couldn't wait for it.
Yeah.
I miss it now. Why isn't there anything on telly now to look forward to?
There's
like
definitely
that?
a void, isn't there? Because that was the one show that you could see all
your favourites,
Yeah.
all what you're listening to on the radio all week. Oh my God, they're going to be on this Thursday. You'll get so excited.
Yeah.
So I remember going in there with all the boys, my band, and they were shocked because it was so tiny.
Yeah.
But on TV, everything looks bigger. Even people look bigger on telly. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Steve, you had £5 on telly.
Well, this is it. I mean, I probably look shocking.
No,
on
you don't look
television,
shocking,
but...
Steve. You look very, very well. But yeah, I remember hearing that. One of the first things I had learnt was when you go on television or take pictures, it adds £5. I was like, what? £5? So when I meet all these famous people suddenly, they're all tiny, especially when I met Prince. He was smaller than me.
Should we talk about that? Let's do the next one. The next one is Prince.
Yeah.
Lots of people ask for Prince on my 80s playlist. You've met him.
Yeah.
Oh, can you please tell me everything?
Well, wow. I went to see his gig. I've been to see him 3 times. A massive fan since 1999 when I was really young.
So can you tell me the times you've been to see him and the shows and stuff?
I went to see Prince at Wembley 3 times in my life. And then the last show, he had a private party in Tottenham Court Road. And they told me he was going to jam for 4 hours. That was Prince used to do that after shows. Go have a party and just jam. He had Nile Rodgers up there and other famous people. To be honest, I was probably too young at that time to really realise who Nile Rodgers was at that time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he worked with Madonna. Now I know. So, he jammed for 4 hours and I was that close to him. And as well as talking to other people in between.
When you say jam for 4 hours, was he just like, doing songs, chatting to people, picking up different instruments? How did it play out? Well, this was a private show, was it? Wow.
There was only maybe 200 people invited. And Biggles or Buggles, it was called. It's a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's not massive.
Uh-huh.
And there's a stage there. And he was just jamming songs from his old albums, his new albums.
Wow.
But the last show I saw him, she came back, Sheila E. on the drums at the front. And Wendy and Lisa have always been a fan because they write lots of lyrics too for Prince back in the day. But on this last gig, Sheila E. came on and I was so pleased because Sheila E. looked so fantastic at the front of the stage. And then I got a message to my management who was with me. I was either with my management, who might have been my dad then, probably was my dad. And Prince has invited you to his private party.
Wow.
I went, oh, that's nice. Oh, Anyway, after jamming and everything like that, I thought, I've got to talk to him. I really want to meet him. You know, I think he's amazing.
Yeah.
And, we were eye to eye. I couldn't believe it. He was the tiniest man. And I know I'm tiny, but I thought, you're tiny.
So how tall are you, Sam?
I'm 5'1".
And he was smaller than you?
Well, he had high heels on. He always wore heels, didn't
Yes,
he? I
of
don't
course.
even know how he did the splits in them heels.
And that was that was an edgy thing in the 80s, but no one cared, did they? Who cared that he was,
No, exactly. I mean, look at David Bowie, even going more back.
Yeah.
And like Boy George says to this day, you know, that was his hero.
Yeah.
You know, the way he could put makeup on, do whatever he liked, and still get taken seriously.
Exactly.
So we've got to thank David Bowie for that where men are concerned.
Can I ask you, as far as that conversation, so you're face to face, you know, similar heights and stuff.
Face to face, eye to eye.
What do you say to someone like Prince when you meet them? I mean, how did you...
Oh, my God.
What was the conversation starter?
Oh, he went, "Hi, Samantha. Pleased to meet you. I've heard your tracks, and I think you're great." And
Amazing.
then he didn't say much more. And then I started to talk to him. But I've got to say, he's very, very shy man. I'm a lucky girl that I'm never lost for words, put it that way. Thank God, because if I was really, really, really shy about meeting him, I probably wouldn't have said a word. But I told him how much I loved him. I've been buying his albums since I left school. I've always listened to him, and I said to him, that 1999 record, I said, it seems so far away. And when I think about it now, 1999, as a kid, I used to think, that's so far away. Why is he singing about 1999? Obviously, it's the year before 2000, and things are going to change.
Yeah.
And I always remember as a kid listening to that track.
And now it seems so far away, doesn't it? You know,
I know,
it kind of happened so many years ago.
So Purple Rain for me, I was a big fan, so I went to see the movie, of course, Purple Rain. Mm-hmm. Bought the album, saw the movie, and Purple Rain for me, when he plays it live, gives me makes my hair stand on end. It was originally 10 minutes long, and he offered it to Stevie Nicks to write the lyrics. And Stevie Nicks went back and she said, "Man, this is 10 minutes long. I don't even know where you're going with this. I don't know where to start. I'm scared." And so she could have. And then he spoke to a band called Journey. And it was...
Who did Don't Stop Believing, didn't they?
Yeah, Don't Stop Believing. Some of it was very similar to the song by Journey.
Right.
But the guy from Journey said, "Don't worry about it, mate, use it."
You have it.
So I bet he's right now thinking, why did I do that?
Yeah, imagine that.
Can you imagine?
Imagine that. That's amazing.
So it's a great story, and being a massive Prince fan and still
That's
am.
excellent.
So talented.
Thank you for sharing that. It's incredible. So, because loads of people have asked for him, but when you ask people, did you know him or did you even see it? The stories are a bit...
Yeah.
But you met him.
Well, you know what? He had a lovely face. He was a kind face, very shy. But most of the shy people I've met in the business are geniuses.
Yeah,
you know,
they're introverted.
They're very introverted, yeah.
Is it okay, Sam? And I don't want the Samantha Fox stare, so I'm just going to look up.
I'm joking with the stare. It was your funny look before.
I know
said,
it was.
It won't touch me. I thought you were going to fall through the floor.
I panicked. So you just see me looking at my notes.
I only give that look to my band. And they know that look. So I won't give you that look, Steve. You're too lovely.
Well, I was going to, if I may, play my favourite Samantha Fox track at this point.
I don't mind at all.
Because this reminds me of being at school. I bought it in Woolworths. I Only Want to Be With You. I love that song.
Oh, I love Only Want to Be With You.
The Top of the Pops performance when you had like the pink hair. Amazing. Yeah. Must ask you about the Brit Awards 1989.
Yeah.
So I personally think this is what the Brits is all about. The Brit Awards is supposed to be live. And tell me about that, because it was you and Mick Fleetwood, right?
Oh, what terrible. I mean, why put me and him together? I'll never, ever believe it.
So he was how tall?
Well, it was just... They thought it was funny. You know, but how ridiculous. Mick has never done any presenting in his life. I had, so I had some sort of clue of presenting. I was living in New York at the time, and I was known all over the world. It's obviously why I got offered it.
Yeah.
To present it. And
because it's a big gig hosting Brits, isn't it? It's like the music award show of the year.
Well, yeah, it goes all around. It's watched by billions and billions of people, and it was live. And I flew they flew me by Concorde, which was lovely. I got there quick. I did my rehearsal at the Albert Hall. All went very smoothly. I had an altar cue in front of me, huge it was, and this lady down to the left of me working. In those days, it wasn't digital. It was literally like what they do. They turn this handle.
So the auto cue, yeah.
So as I'm talking, I don't know who... Bros, I love Bros, but they let all the Brossettes in first, so they were at the front of the stage.
Right.
Bros wasn't even going to be on yet, but they were screaming through the whole Brits. So the poor lady doing the auto cue can't hear me or Mick when we're speaking. So the auto cue kept stopping.
Yeah.
I mean, example, it said, "Ladies and gentlemen, now the Four Tops." And Boy George walked on. And he says, and I'm the fifth top. And I'm like, Mick. And he's like, just looking at me like that.
See, no, he couldn't help, could he?
No. I mean, I wish it was someone like Danny Baker or something, because I'd worked with Danny and we could have worked with each other at these funny moments or when things were going wrong. And everything was going wrong backstage.
Can I ask you then, so we're 15 minutes in and the auto cue's messing up.
Oh my God.
Boy George has come out and the crowd are cheering, and didn't the Home Secretary get booed on all this stuff is going on. How did you feel? It's live television.
My hairdresser was with me that day because it's a long show and you get hot, obviously. My makeup and hair, and he was down by the side with this lady as well with water for me and things like that. And in between touching up my hair and putting powder on, "Are you all right?" I went, "Oh, da, I want to go home. Oh, help me now. It's all going wrong." But backstage was terrible. I mean, the company, the production company put it on. You'll laugh at the name. It's called White Elephant. Yeah, and it was a white elephant, wasn't it? I was like, when I saw they were called White Elephant, I got a bit nervous. And it was, but you know what? It's the most talked about Brits ever.
It really is.
It was rock and roll.
Yep.
And it weren't my fault. So let's get this straight. Because I tell you what, you know what the press are like. I was there dying.
They blamed you.
Yeah, they did. But I did get an apology from the music industry, what they called... it's Billboard in America, but we had another one, a paper. Music Weekly.
Yeah.
They put a massive big doubles-page article. "We are so sorry, Sam. This would never happen again, and you're welcome back any time." They knew what went down.
Would you do it again if you were asked?
Of course I would.
Yes. That's the attitude,
Of course I would.
That's the attitude.
Of course I would. But not with Mick Fleetwood. I mean, there's me also with another Fleetwood Mac were my heroes growing up. I mean, that album Rumours was played in my house all the time. And I was really excited about meeting him, but I remember being on the plane thinking, it's not going to look odd. I'm 5'1", and he's about 6'4".
Because that was the joke when you first went on stage, because you went to the tall microphone.
It was my idea. That was my idea, because I thought it's going to look really stupid if I'll go, "Oh, I've gone to the wrong mic." Make a joke of it.
Yeah.
I thought, let's just make a joke of it straight away, because it's ridiculous putting this together anyway. But let me just get on with it, because I only got there 2 days before the live. And, I was living in the States then.
Oh, listen, Sam, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I talk about it every year. Because the thing is...
Most people do.
The Brits is so safe now. For so many years, it's been pre-recorded or on a delay, and it's glitzy. And they've clearly got... What we need is...
They've learned their lessons since 1989. They've got it right. It's taken them a while, but they've got it right now.
Oh, listen, I've always wanted to speak to you about it.
That's all right.
Now,
listen, I like speaking about it because everybody thinks it's my fault. I can't control an auto cue from where I was standing. And what was great about it, I must say, was introducing all the guests. It was like Tina Turner.
I was going to say, who was there on the bill? Because no one remembers the actual, the content of the show or who won. Who was there?
I mean, first I saw there's Tina Turner come out to collect award, Annie Lennox, and then Def Leppard performed, who I loved. And Joey Elliott I knew quite well because he recorded in the same studios as me. And he went, "You all right, Sam?" before he started to sing. I went, "No." And he went, "Don't worry, darling, it's rock and roll." And he made me feel, I went, "Yeah, it's rock and roll, it's rock and roll. That's what it is, it's rock and roll."
Good on you, good on you. I mean, it's funny now, isn't it? Did you ever watch it back?
Oh, of course, on these programmes, when things go wrong on television, I go, "I bet you I'm going to be on it." So I don't bother watching it anyway. But I always get a phone call. Oh, you was on telly last night from the Brits.
Oh, it lives on in the very best way.
It's been on all those programmes since '89.
Let's move on to another song. Can we? I'm going to pick. Should we do Queen? Which Queen song would you like?
I love I Want to Break Free.
Oh, nice.
Because I just love the video so much. And being a massive Queen fan, it was a change of direction in music for them, this song. And they're all, and the idea, everybody thought that it was Freddie's idea to dress up as women.
It was, who was it?
It was Roger Taylor.
Yeah.
And then when Brian May was asked, the guitarist, they said to him in Q magazine, was you happy with the way you all looked, the way you came? He went, yeah, that's our personalities. It was fantastic. And it's not even real guitar on them. He was a little bit upset, Brian. They used synth. They used the synth for the guitar.
That's how they changed their sound.
That's right. That's how their sound changed. But it sounded. It was a great video. Everybody wanted to. He even shaved his moustache off for that video.
I must ask you, because you probably know the. Of course he did. You probably know the reaction both sides of the Atlantic. So. So here we loved it. We got the joke.
Yeah, they didn't get it in America.
We'd seen Coronation Street, and they were kind of playing up the Coronation Street, the housewife thing, weren't they?
They were.
In America, if you've seen Bohemian Rhapsody, they were made to be, well, it was kind of deemed to be darker and perverted and drag queen-like and, 80s conservative America.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scene, the reaction?
Yeah, I do. I remember it didn't take off in America because nobody was up to date back in the 80s with what's going on now. Let's face it. We're all understanding that people are born a certain way and that's the way they are and that's the way they grow up. It's not an illness and that's that. For me, Freddie was one of those performers who was so dramatic and did what he did what he felt. It wasn't choreographed and that's the way I like to be. I like each show I ever do, I just want to be myself and be the element of surprise. Because many of my fans, they come every gig if I'm on tour. So I like to mix it up a bit. And Freddie, for me, as well as Elvis Presley, was probably my favourite performers. And maybe Tina Turner, actually. But because it was natural. And, when you saw him on Live Aid, when they opened Live Aid...
amazing.
I mean, it's hard to be an opening act for a big crowd like that. But Freddie just come on, didn't he, and done his stuff. Then after... They had another big gig at Wembley, and then I went to that gig to see the Queen, and then I was invited back with the likes of Kim Wilde, Spandau Ballet, Duran Duran, Annie Lennox to his private party, Cliff Richard and Christopher Biggins, all those people in the 80s.
So have you met Freddie as well?
I've sang with Freddie.
No way.
I have indeed. He made me cool in Britain. He did, because when Touch Me come out, Chris Tarrant scratched it off the radio, said it's rubbish, it will never make it.
Wow.
It's probably not even her on the record, people were saying. So when I went to that party in 86, which is the same year as Touch Me, when I had a lot of people going, it's not her, she can't sing. Apparently when you look all right, or you got blonde hair and a good figure, you can't do anything else.
Unbelievable.
Apparently. I know there's a lot of people listening now who are not like that, they've all grown up. But so I went to this private party and he was doing, again, a jamming gig. I can't remember what his band was called. It was all Queen, but they were doing cover songs.
Right. Oh, how amazing.
And he pulled me up out of everybody there. And he told me he was a big fan. And he said, what covers do you know? And I said, Touch Me for a joke. He said, I only know the chorus. And then he said, do you know Go Johnny Go? I said, I know that. Tutti Frutti. I went, yeah, let's do Tutti Frutti, oh, Roo. So we did that together.
Amazing.
And that went on front page everywhere the next morning. And it was so good for me in the industry, the fact that Freddie sang with me. It made me feel, I don't know, so much better in my heart about how I was perceived in this country and people. I mean, I was still on the C list when Touch Me was number 3. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
Although all over the world it was number 1 and whatever, it was hard. But once this picture appeared of me and Freddie Mercury singing face to face, things changed.
That's amazing.
So I must thank him for that.
Yeah. What kind of person did you... I mean, obviously you're on stage with him, he was performing and stuff. What do you remember about him? The way he looks, the way he was with you?
So down to earth.
Yeah.
Such a lovely man. kind. You could see he was a kind, generous man, and because he was talking to the band and getting the key right and doing this. He said, "You right now, darling? You ready to go?" And he said, "Excuse me, I'm really hot, so excuse my sweat." He's going. He'd already been playing for like an hour by then, and he swung me around like a rag. When there was a solo, he got hold of my waist. It's on video on YouTube.
I must look
and
at this.
And he's swinging me left to right and left to right like a little baby doll. And then I was really good friends at that time with Anita Dobson, who was going out with Brian May. And I used to send messages to, because not long after that, he became a hermit. And you know why. Bless him. Nobody could go and see him. So I used to send lots of messages to him via Anita.
Did you?
And Anita used to send messages back to me via Brian and Freddie. So I felt he was in my life for quite a while, really.
Yeah, and it's interesting thinking about that. I've just finished this, I don't know if you've seen it, recently, this George Michael Outed documentary about him coming out and stuff. And then I thought about what happened with Freddie and the illness and the headlines and the fact, like you said, he died alone pretty much, didn't he? He couldn't go out because of the paparazzi and stuff. I mean, thank goodness things have changed.
Yeah, that's
now.
what I was saying earlier. Thank God we're not back in those days. Because these days, you remember AIDS, people didn't know much about it at all.
No. People were scared about it, weren't they?
They were scared. It wasn't until Lady Diana made us not scared, if you think about it, kissing that child. And, because everybody was thinking they'd catch it from kissing, from glasses, from door handles, being quite naive about it and not reading about it.
Yeah.
And poor Freddie,
That's an amazing story, story.
Thank you.
It's incredible. Okay, who was more impressive, Freddie Mercury or Prince? I'm chucking that at you, Sam.
Who was more impressive to me was definitely Freddie Mercury.
Yeah?
Because I loved his personality.
Okay.
He was so fun.
Lovely.
And he made me laugh a lot, especially after we sang together.
Brilliant. Are you enjoying this, by the way?
I'm loving it, Steve.
I'm loving every one of these stories. I want to keep you here. We'll lock the door, Harry, for 3 more hours. Once again, thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, thank you, Steve.
Something that I don't know, I've never heard you speak about, and I just wanted to quickly ask you, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, you've done so much by being open, by being honest. You started off obviously as a page 3 model. You kind of came out over the years, didn't you?
Yeah.
Always been honest and stuff. I mean, do you realise how much of a big difference that's made within our community?
Do you know what, Steve? It was very difficult. I really do believe when I was younger, we don't know when we're young, do we really? We experiment and we don't really know till we are older what we really are.
And everybody's different.
But when I met my last partner, I was with her for 16 years. That's a long time. I came out then. I think it was 1993. When was it? Oh, my God. 2003. Sorry. I came out in 2003 because, as I said to myself, I was scared before that, Steve, because most of my gigs was, say, 70% heterosexual men and a lot of gay men.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of gay fans and women.
Me included.
Thank you very much, Steve. And a lot of gay women. And now it's 50-50. And when I did come out, a lot of girls, a lot of young boys wrote to me by email and said I'd really helped them because their dads were fans of mine.
Yes.
These young girls. And they would say to their dad, "Look, Sam Fox has just come out, Dad, and you've always loved Sam Fox. There's nothing wrong with it." So I really helped a lot of young people and a lot of young boys too. They used to put posters of me on their wall when I was a glamour model.
Me again.
Did you?
Well, you had a top on.
Oh, bless you.
I wouldn't have got away
with that. Well, yeah, I mean, let's go back to them days. It wasn't only topless, it was glamour modelling. It was swimsuits and underwear and bikinis. So lots of boys had these pictures of me. But a lot of gay boys too, because a lot of gay boys back in the day were too scared for their parents to know.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of letters. So thank you so much for the pictures I looked at you when I was growing up, and my dad coming in saying, "Good on you, son, you got a picture of Sam Fox," because they were too scared to tell their parents.
Yeah.
And them same boys who are my fans still today tell me all their stories. And how it's really helped them.
Amazing.
Too.
How was it for you when you was it as hard as you kind of thought it would be, or
no?
It was okay, was it?
Do you know what? I felt relieved.
Good.
I really did. A big weight came off my shoulders to show my truth. Because before that, I was always saying, they say, Sam, have you got a boyfriend? I'd be going, no, I'm too busy for love. I'm too busy for love.
Yeah.
And, I was scared at that time. I really scared because I just thought, will my records sell anymore? Will my heterosexual fans, the boys who have always grown up with me as their fantasy? And I remember Myra, my manager and my lover for 16 years, said to me, those boys, Sammy, have all grown up now and they're married with children.
Yeah.
You know, you're not on the bedroom walls anymore. You're probably, she made me laugh. She said, you're probably in the garage now.
Yes.
So I hope I'm out of the garage very soon. And I'm joking.
But it's really interesting, isn't it?
You know.
Seriously, bit by bit by bit, people like you and what you've done, you've made a difference, and you've
I
made
hope
it
so.
easier for people. Without a doubt, I've heard it firsthand.
Great,
so.
Steve, because, you know, you're put on this world for a reason. My reason was to make people happy with whatever I did, whether it's page-free, music, coming out. That's why I'm here.
Just finally, Blondie, Call Me. Why do you want this?
Blondie, again, she was on my bedroom wall as a teenager with a Bad T-shirt. She had a T-shirt of Bad on it, I remember. Bought Parallel Lines, one of my first albums. Loved it. But love Call Me, I just I don't know. It was a dance track, wasn't it? As well as a little bit of a rocky edge.
Yeah.
And I'd seen her so many times live. And I decided in 2000... When did I release it, Linda? 2000. In actual fact, I covered it about 10, 12 years ago.
Amazing.
With an 80s singer called Sabrina.
Sabrina, who did Boys, Boys, Boys.
Yes.
Okay. And
And
she was a model as well. I don't know why I'm going like this.
I think, Steve, I think you got boob envy. A lot of gay men have, you know.
I think I have, actually, but that's for another show. Sam Fox, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Steve.
you know what? I just want to drop this in. Would
Yeah.
you come back and see us at some point?
Steve, definitely.
Can we do some shows on
Yeah.
Virgin Radio 80s Plus?
I'd
I think
love
it would
to.
be incredible.
Yeah, me and you.
Yeah, well, I think you should have your own show.
Do ya?
Yeah, I think we should do a Sam Fox takeover. Would you be up for it?
I'll be up to do radio. I love music.
Amazing.
And I don't mind a chat.
Let's book her in. Harry, get that booked.
Get me booked in, Steve.
Sam, thank you so much. I love you so much, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you.
A real honour and a mark to meet you today. You're
Thank
everything
you,
and more.
Steve.
Thank
You're
you,
lovely
Sam.
too.
Cheers.
Mwah.
Mwah.